Hey there, it's Ingrid here again from Camera Shy with another video with some quick photography tips for beginners in photography. This week we're talking all about blurry photos. Blurry photos, yeah, last week we talked about the blurry background, but when you have a blurry subject, it's not such a good look, right? Not so good. So why are my photographs coming out blurry? Well, there could be three things that are making your blurry photos, so let's find out what they are. Number one, focus. Are you focusing on the right subject? It could be that you're focusing in the wrong place. I have a very fancy digital camera. Aren't I supposed to point it in the right direction and click? No, you're not. If your camera thinks that you're trying to take a photograph of the biggest thing in the frame or the closest thing to you in the frame, it's going to sometimes get it wrong. So you need to take control over where your focus points are. In order to do that, what you're going to do is move out of autofocus area mode and select the autofocus point manually. Now you can do that in two different ways. With Canon cameras, you can do that by pressing the focus point selection button right here at the top right hand side and select your focus point manually by toggling through the different points and options that it gives you. For Nikon and Sony and Olympus cameras, you need to look for autofocus area mode on your camera menu. So you can toggle your focus point to wherever you want it to be. Make sure that red dot is exactly over where you want your focus to be. Alternatively, you can use your focus lock and recompose method when you have your focus point set to the middle to control where your focus point is. So you can either toggle focus or focus lock and recompose. For a more detailed explanation of those two things, why don't you check out my short webinar that I did, and I'll put the link below that has all that explained in more detail with lots more diagrams and stuff. Okay, the second reason why you might have blurry photos is because you're using too slow of a shutter speed. But Ingrid, I'm not using my shutter speed, I'm doing everything in automatic. Well, it doesn't matter. Even if you're shooting in automatic, the camera has to let the light in, and it has to do that with either controlling the aperture or the shutter speed. So even though you might not know it, the camera is setting a slow shutter speed for you. And when it will set a slow shutter speed is when you're in a very low light situation. If you have a slow shutter speed, everything slows down, and so you have the movement of your subject come into your image and it looks like your subject's very blurry. So if your subject moves in low light and your camera's using a slow shutter speed, that will become very obvious. Or if you move in low light, that will also cause shake and blurry photos. So how do we avoid this? Well, shoot in as bright of light as you can, and if you're in low light inside, pop up your ISO, and that's going to make your camera more sensitive to the light and make sure that you're able to catch your shot at using a faster shutter speed. Even if you're in automatic, the camera's going to do this for you. You could also try using a tripod if you're shooting in low light and your subject's stationary, but that won't help for a wiggly 2-year-old. Okay, third reason why you might be getting blurry photos. You are moving. I'm not moving. Yeah, you're moving. Even this little action of pressing your finger on the shutter button, that can cause your camera to shake. And especially if you're using a very long zoom lens like this, it's very hard to hold that camera steady. So again, in that video that I talked about earlier, I talked a little bit about how you should hold your camera properly to hold it steady. But a little trick for you is that if you have image stabilization on your lens, make sure that you turn it on. So that way your camera will help to reduce any camera shake that you have. And a final tip for you is right before you take the photo, you should take a deep breath in and hold it, and then take your photograph. And that actually really does help. Just try it, but don't forget to breathe out. Okay, so for more tips and tricks, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video if you liked it, and make sure to share it with all your friends. And check out beginnersphotographyblog.com for more videos like this, and make sure to sign up so that you get your next video delivered right into your inbox. Until next time, happy snapping!